Hello, beautiful souls. It's Dr. Danny. Welcome back to the channel. We have a great presentation today. I've got my decoding mojo back, and I am so excited to be here with you guys. Um, every presentation is always better when it's couched in a story. So, for those of you that know my work, you've seen what I've done in the past with astrology, numerology, alchemology, taking the methods that I've learned from Decode Your Reality to show you the beautiful synchronous connections that are all around us in our universe. And right around mid-August, I had a computer failure, and then I tried to do some decodes, and they just didn't work. I lost a PowerPoint, or it would disappear. And so I've been kind of sitting with that and asking spirit, well, what's going on here? And the message kept coming to me is that there's a level up that was needed. And so I don't know if this presentation is better than ones that I've done in the past, but it certainly feels a lot more impactful. I was able to, through the numerology, connect the wow signal from 1977. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk about it here in a little bit. There was a signal from the center of the galaxy that came in through a radio telescope, and it was so off the charts that the person who discovered it wrote wow next to it. They've never found it again. They've never been able to replicate that signal, and there's been some sort of, kind of middle of the road vanilla explanations about why that happened, but no one really knows why. And because of its location in the center of the galaxy, and because 3i Atlas is also from that same location, many are speculating that they are connected. And through numerology, through alchemology, through the tarot, I have actually found some very stunning connections that I'm going to share with you. Now, some of you that are new to this channel may not be used to these methods, and then I'm going to go real slow. I'm going to give you the background of Atlas spin, people are thinking. We're going to go through a different, rather just to get you in the zone talking about, and then decode. How's everybody doing? It looks like we've got so far. I'm so excited. There's been some amazing developments in the astronomy and astrological world. We recently just had our International Astrology Association, the first meeting. This was 2 weeks ago, today, introduced the golden phoenix angle or aspect. Many of the connections that we have in astrology, like if you have a sun and based on a 1-degree angle, but the phoenix aspect is based on a 107.5-degree angle, and it comes from phi. And it was my pleasure to the community at large. And I think within the next, we're going to have the second sun, moon, golden phoenix angle for this nation. So keep your eyes peeling, sort of quirky, out of the ordinary, that resolves quickly. It can be wonderful or terrible in my experience in this angle. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Let's see, what else? Most of you probably watch Van Burns and his sermon channel. If you did, he's fantastic. He has recently switched from using tropical to the masteringthezodiac.com astronomical charts. And I'm thrilled because just the other I was talking to Lady Spirit about this, and I said, we really need somebody from astronomical charts. And like within a week, he did. So that was really, really magical. And I'm so excited that he's because when I look in the comments of his, I'll see people going, why is the sun in Virgo? And it just tickles me, like, oh my gosh, he's exposing so many people don't even know it yet. So hopefully my sound is bad. Okay. I can fix it. All right. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'll fix it. Is that better? I see you. Oh my, at me. Now, is it? I'm so sorry. There's a golden phoenix. Better, better? Better, better? Sorry, everybody. Redo. Oh my gosh. Of course, it would glitch when I'm dropping truth, when I'm trying to bring you guys like the amazing energy of Three Eye Atlas. Oh gosh, I'm getting your texts too. I love y'all. I'm so sorry. All right, let's see. Okay, my video looks good. And the audio, I think, is better too. Yes, yes, yes. Better, better. Good. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Please forgive me. Yay. All right. Very good. Very good. Well, that got your attention. Um, awesome. So, for those that left, I'm so sorry that they left because they are in for a really, really amazing presentation. I am using the golden ratio phi to bring you some amazing connections between the WOW signal from 1977 and interstellar object 3i Atlas. All right, good. I'm getting the 555. Good. Okay. Awesome. So I think you guys will really like this presentation. It will be entertaining. It will be satisfying. We will review before we get into the decode everything that's out there about 3i Atlas just from a very high 20-foot thousand view, just so we can kind of start the decode from somewhere. For those of you just joining, we did have some glitchy energy. I'm Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. Sorry about all of that. So I hope you guys are doing well. I'm good now that y'all can hear me. I did try something a little different on the back end here, and I think that that was my mistake. So, I don't know. Sometimes this thing's so crazy. All right. Good. All right. Let's see who we have here today. Let's see. Let's see. Let the hearing begin. All right. Thank you, Nikki Vella. I can see and hear you clearly now. Okay, good. Man, y'all got my heart rate up. All right, good. Good, good. So good to see all of you. This is going to be a good one. I call it the fingerprint of God using PHI for the F because it's literally stunning the amount of phi connections that are within the 3i Atlas energy and within the WOW signal as well. So we're going to have a good time with this decode. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Things are going good. We got the house last week, and my husband is there getting it ready for my presence, which will be fun. We're gonna next week, Sunday, we're gonna go up there and paint a little bit. And I might even try to do a quick little live stream up there just to show you guys around. And then I might even try to do a little bit of my home health job that I just started while I'm up there. So those are all the exciting things that are happening for me. Stellar Foundations is cooking, rolling along. We just got through my favorite topic, which is, the ether and why astrology works. It connects all of the magic that's, seems like woo, but it isn't. It's actually spiritual technology. There's science behind it. So I absolutely love talking about that. Been doing some readings, and summer in South Texas lasts till November. So I'm still having a good time enjoying the sun. So, all right, everybody, we have 29 now. Everybody can hear me. And I am going to share the screen. I wanted this part of it where I share the screen to be smoother, but I think Restream was not having it. And I don't let the system audio share. So I don't know. I have no idea why it does that. All right. So yes, the software that I'm talking about is this right here. This is truesky.masteringthezodiac.com. This is what Stefan Burns has started to use, which I'm so thrilled because people are looking at, where the sun is right now and they're like, "Wait, I thought it was in Libra." And it's so interesting because and let me ask you guys this. I want to actually look at you when I ask you this very serious question before I get started is I don't know if you've seen other astrologers talk about 3i Atlas and its position and its meaning astrologically. I don't know if you're watching anyone else. I've been looking for it. I haven't seen anyone else do it until about last week. This was when Mars and 3i Atlas were conjunct and the Mars orbiters were looking at it and all of that. I hadn't seen anybody come up with anything astrological until that moment. And what I saw upset me a little bit, but I got over it. It was a tropical astrologer describing 3-eye atlas in Libra, okay? And you all know, and I know that that's not where it is. When we look up at the sky from the ground with a telescope, it is in the stars of Virgo. So, in my opinion, I feel like it's not okay to discuss an interstellar object, something not related to Sol, not related to Moon, not related to Earth, in an astrological way using our solar zodiac. I just don't think it's appropriate. Uh, for many reasons, but number 1, I mean, the obvious one is that, Mars is not in Libra right now, it's in Virgo, and the 3-eye atlas, the interstellar object, this thing from somewhere else is coming in here and making contact with Mars in the stars of Virgo, so that has to mean something for us down here, and to read that in Libra, I think is wrong. But I don't know, tell me what you guys think. That's just my thoughts. If you can think of a reason why that would be good, I would love to hear it. So anyway, that's the question I wanted to put out there to you guys to see if you agreed or not. Okay, I can't share my screen now? Okay. Woo! We're having so much fun. Okay, it looks like I'm sharing my screen, and I'm good with that. All right, let's go into the 3D solar system viewer and take a look at our solar system. I mean, look, I'm not knocking tropical astrology to monitor things with the solstices and the equinox and create a calendar and do our planets because that's our solar system deal. And we're still doing that here on Earth, and that's okay. But for objects like this, when they come from out there where the stars are, I think you need to read it from the stars it's coming from. So there it is. And we are going to zoom in to Earth and look at it from the ground. So this you will get to this by going to The Sky Live and clicking on Star Maps, and then you go over here, and you can see the constellation of Libra here, you can see Virgo here, and you see the sun right there in the middle of Virgo. Venus has just entered Virgo. Do check out my Venus forecast that I did last week. That is good until basically the first week of November, as we watch Venus move through Virgo. So watch what's going to happen. Okay, this is today. Mercury and 3-eye atlas are conjunct at the moment. If we move through time, we're going to get to the next new moon, which will be right here around the 21st of October. Do you see the moon there? It's hard to see because it's a new moon, but where my cursor is the moon. If we go towards the next day, there it is. Atlas, sun, brand new moon. This is magic right here, my friends. You're not going to get a more magical moment than this right here. This is literally the seed entering the womb and fertilizing the mother, okay? This in the womb of Virgo, Sun, 3-eye atlas, and Moon, a brand new cycle, and Venus right at the heart of Virgo, right here. This is the star Spica where my cursor is. So this is the brightest star in Virgo. This is a very, very beautiful alignment. Now, during the day when we have this new moon, we won't be able to see this, right? You can't open your eyes and see it. The sun is way too bright. So but you can see this on this map. These are astronomically calculated positions that are accurate and precise. And we can see this and we can use this for our astrological energies. And there it is. So this next new moon is going to be amazing. Stargazers, channel members, and stellar foundations, we are going to meet on the 19th of October for our monthly Zoom call. And we'll chat about our normal things, but we're also going to do at the end a meditation activation around this energy. So if you want to join the channel and join us for that call, it's going to be really spectacular. Lady Spellbreaker is going to help me. We're going to use our magic to manifest the new earth, what we want, a better life, a better world. All right. And so I just think this is a big moment. And so if you guys want to join us, I just wanted to show you that and the reason behind it. So let me see what you guys think about this. Stephen Burns is neutral and he uses correct astrology. Yeah. We're on the right page with the sky. Hi from Pittsburgh. Make sure to write everything down. Yeah, I actually did have to I did do the decode all on paper first, and then I went ahead and put it on the, PowerPoint. I was like, "I am not gonna lose that." Alright, cool. Cool. Let's get into the PowerPoint presentation. I will go over the background, uh, first, and this was the presentation that I did about 6 weeks ago. And 6 weeks in the internet is literally a century. So, what I wanted to do was give you all this with new images and new updates, and we'll go through it very, very quickly. I don't wanna spend a whole lot of time on this, but I want you to know what I know about Three Eye Atlas, and not the woo-woo stuff, just where it is, what it looks like, some of the mythological themes that we can accurately use based on its location, based on its name, based on the things that are already available to us. So the interstellar visitor. A couple of things I just wanted to point out about this. A lot of people already know this. They know where it came from in the sky. They know by how it's moving that it didn't come from our solar system. So that's how they know it's not from here. They know how big it is based on its trajectory, speed, brightness. And when it was first discovered, it was moving. And this really is what struck me. This is why I wanted to do a decode so badly on this freaking object, because it was coming in at 137,000 miles per hour. That's big. That's a really big number. That is the angle of the Golden Phoenix angle, 137.5 degrees. That is the number of the fine structure constant. We find this number everywhere in lunar mathematics. There are 137 lunations every 11-year solar cycle. So every 11 years, when we have a solar maximum to the next solar maximum, there are precisely 137 lunations. So this is a big deal. And when they said that to me, I was like, okay, there's something about this I need to look at. Now, ATLAS stands for the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. So this is our government and world's attempt to locate things that may or may not crash into Earth. Okay, this is kind of like the oh shit beacon here, and that is what it means. But it also has other meanings in our lexicon, in our history. The word atlas comes up in other places, and it has an archetypal meaning. It resonates with us on an archetypal level. The first one that comes to mind is Titan, the Titan Atlas that was condemned by Zeus to hold up the heavens at the end of the world. So it's like an archetype of endurance, of burden, of cosmic guardianship. There's a weight of responsibility here. The people underneath of Atlas can relax and enjoy, but this character, this Titan, had to do all this heavy lifting and all this work. There's also an Atlas star in the star cluster of the Pleiades, and the father of the Pleiades and the Hyades was Atlas. So it links him to stellar ancestry. So for those of you that resonate with, Pleiadian energy, this might be, a cosmic messenger, a message coming for you, or as part of that energy for you. So this is the bearer of the cosmos and transmitter of stellar seeds. Uranus is here right now in the Pleiades, which incidentally is in the constellation of Taurus, not Gemini. You won't find the Pleiades in Gemini. So we can bring a little Uranian energy into it, and we can also bring in what Uranus might represent to us in the constellation of Taurus, conjunct the Pleiades. What is this? This is an energy of bringing in new, fresh, cosmic energies, having the channel open to be able to handle that, but also having the physical presence, the grounded presence in the earth to carry those codes in a practical and useful way. We're not ready for what Uranus and Gemini is going to do to our nervous systems. We have to learn how to ground that here in the earth right now. So this comet may be teaching us that. And then here's the actual telescope. So here it is. And 3i comes from third interstellar. Where it was located first was in the Milky Way center, the center of our galaxy. There's so much mythology and archetypal energy here. The exact spot was the tail of the serpent, and right next to Sagittarius. So this whole Sagittarius, serpent, Ophiuchus area of the sky, just a few degrees above the ecliptic, So here you have the serpent bearer, identified with Asclepius, the god of medicine. So we have wisdom, healing, and transformation. Now, serpents and Ophiuchus, this symbology, this mythology is Kundalini energy, the coiled life force awakening, a rebirth to immortality as the serpent sheds their skin. And there's also the star fields, the Eagle Nebula, the pillars of creation, where both the Wow signal and Three Eye Atlas were located. So here we have these two energies together. So we have Atlas, the Titan, the sky bearer, the father of stellar seeds. And then we have serpents, the serpent of wisdom held in the hands of Ophiuchus. And together they form the mythic stage for Three Eye Atlas. And you guys, what I feel like this interstellar visitor is bringing to us, each and every one of us as individuals, especially if you're paying attention to it, it brings you synchronicities. It's almost as if there's some sort of code coming in that's for everybody, but experienced individually. Um, the people that I've listened to, it's all struck them in different ways. It's all brought synchronicities into their life in an individual way. And whether or not this is alien technology or some sort of computer code or a glitch in the matrix, whatever it is, it's resonating with our human consciousness on a collective level and for each of us on an individual level. It's so absolutely fascinating. So we have this healing and galactic transmission, and it's a union of cosmic burden, wisdom, and activation. That's why I think this new moon is going to be so amazing. So, uh, July 1st was the first discovery in Sagittarius. So, this is the seed from beyond. It pierces the veil of Sagittarius and serpents. But they did actually find pictures of this from the TESS telescope. And TESS looks for exoplanets. So, they were able to find early May and June photos of Three Eye Atlas in retrospect. And here's the location in the sky, sort of zoomed out and then zoomed in very closely so they could see. It was just a little tiny speck that was moving more strangely than the other objects. So there it is. If you look at it from the solar system perspective, you've got Earth here in front of us and then Three Eye Atlas right there if we look out at it. And this is the space. If you zoom back down onto Earth and look up, this is where it was coming from right here. So this space in the sky, both the Wow signal and Three Eye Atlas are from here. So on July 21st, Hubble captured a picture of it. And here's that picture. And what was so odd about Three Eye Atlas was that its outgassing energy, instead of being away from the sun, was pointing towards the sun. And it still doesn't have the typical tail that you see on normal comets. And there it is again on the 21st of July or August. Or 21st of what month is that? July. Right there on the leg of Ophiuchus. Okay. And then on August 6th, the James Webb telescope went ahead and took pictures of it. And we thought they were going to wait till November to release their photos, but they didn't. They released them a little bit more earlier. And what scientists saw was absolutely stunning. They noticed that this thing had a huge coma. Like it's huge. It's like half the size of the sun. It's not its actual core. The body of it can be anywhere from 5 kilometers to 41 kilometers from different estimates and depending on what you read. But pretty much a big old rock with a huge outgassing of mostly carbon dioxide. It's also got nickel. And its ratios of nickel to iron and carbon dioxide to water are much, much higher than any objects that we've studied before. So it's a very interesting object, just astronomically speaking. It is an anomaly. And we were just figuring all of this out in August and early September. So this is the point at when those pictures were released. And this is when I started following Diago with Dobsonian power because he could actually focus in on his telescope. And every afternoon from Portugal, he would zoom in and locate it. On August 21st, Spherex confirmed that vast CO2 coma and icy nucleus, and then carbon and ice revealed interstellar breath. So there's their picture. I mean, what a crazy looking object. I don't know if it's artificial, but it certainly is unique. And it was at that point channeling through the energy of Scorpio. So there it is from Earth's perspective. And there it is on its trail. And it moved into Libra in late August and then into Virgo on September 21st. So here is the basic timeline. It's pretty much following this timeline to a T. We are right here, right now in this space. So I showed you that on The Sky Live. And I zoomed in here to show you. So let's look into the future. Actually, that slide shouldn't have been there. You can ignore that. So the comet entered Virgo on the 21st, and now it's invisible from Earth from the telescope. So Tiago can't really see it very well. He's trying to use a solar telescope. He's not really sure what he's looking at. Uh, but they did try to get some pictures from Mars, and they have them, but then our government shut down. So this is where it was approaching Mars on the conjunction within 1.19 astronomical units. And these are the pictures that we have of Mars. That was it. It was from the ESA, the European Space Agency telescope. And there it is. There's an animated GIF. You can go out there and Google it. But that's what we could get from Mars. And it's low resolution, but at least there it is. It's where we think it is. So there it was, conjunct to Mars. And there's another picture, the ExoMars orbiter. Got that picture of it. So again, no tail. It doesn't look like a comet with a tail. It just looks like something with a big coma, a big glow around it. So coming up, this is what's coming up in the future. We're going to have perihelion and solar conjunction from Earth's perspective. This will happen on October 20th to the 25th. And the closest approach to the sun will be 1.3 astronomical units. So we will not be able to see this, but this is where we will have the new moon, three-eye atlas, and the sun in the belly of the birthing mother sky goddess Virgo, that has over 1,200 galaxies within the Virgo cluster in those stars. So this feels like a big moment astronomically and astrologically. And there's that alignment right there. And that's what it will look like in the sky. And on October 31st, Three-Eye Atlas will be on the closest encounter to Venus, still unobservable from Earth, but in November we will be able to see Three-Eye Atlas again, but this time in the morning in the eastern sky before the sunrise. So this feels very peaceful, very good. Venus energy isn't harsh energy at all. Mars is action and Venus is creation. And so there may be the birthing or the blossoming of some sort of energy here from whatever that insemination that was occurring on the 21st of October. So we can see it here. And then there it is getting closer to Venus. And oh, you know what? I'm going backwards. Oops. There it is, conjunct Venus. And there it will look like in the sky, Atlas and Venus together. And then on December 7th, this is when the Three-Eye Atlas will be reborn again in Leo. And we should be able to see it before dawn in the eastern sky. And it will be much brighter, actually, because it will be closer to Earth. So there it is. That's Earth's closest approach to Three-Eye Atlas. So you'll have to get up in the morning if you want to catch it with your telescope. There is the sky map. And December 19th will be the perigee with Earth. So perihelion means it's closest to the sun, and perigee means it's the closest to the Earth. We use the word perigee for the moon as well. So there'll be an activation here as it comes to the Earth. We'll be able to see our new baby, so to speak, still in the constellation of Leo. And then as the days click on, Three-Eye Atlas will transit through Leo, and in January will enter into Cancer. So it sinks into the emotional body of the collective, imprinting itself through feeling rather than sight. And then as we move through time, we move into springtime, and Three-Eye Atlas will enter Gemini at the end of January, and then we'll enter the orb of Jupiter on the 16th of March. And then it will exit the solar system. And what's so interesting about its exit point is it's 180 degrees across from the Milky Way galactic center. And so it is exiting the same space on the same ecliptic as our Milky Way. It's just the other side. It's the outer bands of the Milky Way that are between Taurus and Gemini. So that's how it will exit. And that's the path of the journey. So here, if you want to screenshot this slide, this is very, very useful. So you can keep track of where Three-Eye Atlas is for you. And then you can check out these resources for watching Three Eye Atlas. Dobsonian Power is probably the best one to link up with because he's going to give you daily updates and he's very, very interesting. The Angry Astronaut is also doing very nice updates of studies that he's reading. And then, of course, NASA shut down, so you can't go there anymore. But if you're interested in the astrology of this journey, if you want to go deeper into that, I suggest getting the 13th sign and the astrology they don't want you to see, the book that I published last spring, because that describes that journey of Three Eye Atlas from the galactic center to where it is now and the rest of the journey that it's going to be going on. It's really, really interesting. So, does that all make sense? Do you guys understand sort of what we know? I mean, I don't honestly think that this is an alien technology. I think it's just something from another solar system that's really unique that we've never seen before. But that doesn't mean it's not important. That doesn't mean that its consciousness or its energy or the way that it's affecting the people here on Earth is irrelevant. I think that it actually does matter. Like I said, for me personally, it's opening up a lot of synchronicities. The whole middle part 2 section of the book that I wrote is this cosmic healer's journey, which begins in Scorpio and moves clockwise around the zodiac. And it's doing that now. And the embodiment begins in Virgo. The seed begins to gestate in Virgo. And then the birth is in Leo, where you have the young child or the birth of the idea or the creative thing. So it for me, that's super synchronous. I'm like, wow, there's my story, And I feel like the things that I've been wishing for and hoping for have been slowly and picking up pace in terms of being manifested and coming into fruition. And so that's what's happening for me. And when I see other people, I'm watching them make mathematical connections to it. I'm watching them make geometric connections to it. I'm watching chronological connections to it. I mean, it's just really, really stunning how individual people are connecting to it, but us as a collective are tapped into it. So, all right. Yes, very interesting. All right. You guys, I hope you're ready for this decode because this is awesome. And those of you who haven't seen me do a decode yet, because you're a new subscriber, which I'm really grateful for you for doing that. I will start slow. And if you lose pace or something, just try to sit and understand it. Don't try to like figure out what I'm doing. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to show you beautiful connections. It's to show you why you see synchronicities because everything is connected. And these decodes, they're unique. They don't always come together. There's a lot of dead ends. But when you find a trail and you follow it and it all starts linking up, it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever done. And I'm so excited to bring it to you. So that having been said, if you don't understand the method, or if it doesn't make sense, or if you're like, I signed up for the astrology, not this crazy magic, just let it sink in. Try to understand it and see how beautiful. And like sometimes you're just like, whoa, that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be so connected. And so I've had fun hunting for them, and I think we'll get into it right now. All right. I really wanted this part to be quicker, but oh well. Okay, let me grab the other PowerPoint. Atlas Wow. Okay. There it is. I was afraid it wouldn't open. All right. The main event, the fingerprint of the divine. Three Eye Atlas and the Wow signal. So sit back, relax. Let's have some fun. This will be fun. This is the code. This is what we're going to think about and consider as we move through these slides. We have the Wow signal itself. We'll look at that a little bit. We have the Center for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI. They've been around for a few decades. We have July 1st of 2025. Then we have Three Eye Atlas. Then we're going to talk a little bit about lunations. And then we're going to discuss the main event, 591 Phi. Here are the keys. So when you're doing decoding, alphanumeric ciphers are very, very, very helpful. And there's many. There's not just the American English alphabet gematria, where A is 1, B is 2, C. There's many. And the two that I like that really resonate with me as a polymath and a number file and someone who just loves to see patterns is the phi cipher and the square root of 3 cipher. And a cipher basically takes the letters or the numbers from whatever it is you're using and turns them into digits and vice versa. So the letters become numbers and the numbers become letters. And so where the phi cipher gets its digits from is the irrational string of digits of the golden ratio. So when you have length A and length B and you divide one into the other, you're going to get 1.6180339888749. And it will never resolve itself unless you do the math in base 12. So you can get however many letters. What do we have? 26 letters. You can get 26 letters out of that digit. The same thing with the square root of 3. And 3 signifies the vesica-piscis ratio. So if you take those two perfect circles and you blend them together such that you form a cross in the middle, the vertical cross and the horizontal cross create the square root of 3 ratio. And what's so interesting is that 173 is a permutation of 137, which is the fine structure constant, which was the speed in hundreds of thousands of miles an hour of 3I Atlas when we first discovered it. The other methodologies, including alchemology and using the card systems, you can find those resources at Dakota or at cosmicsugar.org, and you can find the ciphers at dakota.co. So let's get into this. We'll start with wow. So here it is. We're just looking at this event. What actually happened? On August 15th of 1977, the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University picked up this signal. Astronomer Jerry Ehrman discovered the anomaly a few days later while reviewing the recorded data. And you can see that with this is a picture of his findings. With his red pen, he circled all the anomalous spots. And this one in particular, he wrote down WOW exclamation point because it was so strong. And it came from the galactic center and it could not be duplicated. And also 72-second window. So that's interesting to me because 72 is a pretty sacred number. It's part of star geometry, which is also part of phi. So they've made up a bunch of hypotheses about what it could be. They're not saying it's, alien or not alien. They just don't know. It just happened once and then there it is. But it's interesting that now that we have another event, which is 3I Atlas, coming from this part of the sky within a 10-degree radius. So what did decoders do? Well, they take that signal and they put it in their cipher to see what they get. So I did that. I typed in 6EQUJ5 and it gave me a number. It gave me the number 27. This is a really special number. You're going to see this a lot in this decode. It's related to lunar cycles. It's just fantastic energy. So it's the number 9, which is completion, which is repeating. You can also equate these numbers that you get from your ciphers and take it into your periodic table of elements. And you can look at your periodic table of elements as a way to not only bring in more energy, but also to transfer the number to another number to give it another meaning or to connect a meaning with something else. Okay. And I always love getting cobalt. It's atomic number 27. Its atomic mass is 59. And the word cobalt is derived from a German word meaning goblin. Okay, so if you think of this interstellar visitor as this goblin lurking around, and they actually, the picture here from the periodic table of elements came from the idea of tin miners in Germany being spooked by these cobalt goblins or these cobalts. Okay, so 27 cobalt, the unknown, atomic mass 59, atomic number 27, associated with the wow signal. I'm going to take that word goblin because it's a clue, right? It's a clue that the periodic table is giving me. And I'm going to put that in my phi cipher and I get another number, 38. I'm going slow. This is a very simple example. If you take the date and you just do the numerology, it really doesn't matter what cipher you use because when you add up 8151977, you get the number 38. Okay, so this is how synchronicities are formed. This is why when you're connected and you're in the flow state, you're doing what you're supposed to do, synchronicities pop up for you. And it's so incredibly beautiful. So that's our wow signal. We've got the number 27, we got cobalt, we got 59, we've got goblin, we've got 38. And it always starts out not making sense, but once you see how things are connected, it's really amazing. So let's look at this celestial location. Okay, this is the spot where the Eagle Nebula is, the pillars of creation, the same spot the three-eye atlas came from. Sagittarius and serpents. Okay, that's another number. What are you doing, Dr. Danny? Well, trust me, I'm going somewhere with all of this. But I put the two constellations together and I get another very special number, number 77. Because when I put that one in the periodic table of elements, I get this dragonfly. Dragon is 33 in the Phi cipher. Fly is 13 in the Phi cipher. But the dragonfly represents this energy of sort of pushing down the hubris. There was the story is that there was a dragon, a mighty and fierce dragon that crossed a goddess and was reduced to a little minor dragonfly. So it just kind of shows us the little dragon in all of us. In the medicine deck of cards, you can use this to help you decode. This is slide 13. Dragonfly is card 27. So Sagittarius and serpents and the location of the wow signal is connected to the signal itself through the number 27 by way of the dragonfly. Are you seeing this? Eagle Nebula is also 27. I mean, this doesn't just happen. These connections are there for us to see if we have the eyes to see them. So that was the wow signal. Don't worry, I'm going to be threading all of these together, but I want to introduce the new topics one at a time. So now we're going to add another layer to this, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. This is a government organization that has been around forever, like early 20th century, maybe the 2040s or the 1940s, that's pointed these large radio telescopes to the sky to see if they can get any indication of something that's intelligent or available to analyze. And the wow signal is one of those interesting signals. There have been some other ones, but that location is unique for the wow signal. So if I actually take these words, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, and I throw them into my Phi cipher, I get 137. Bam! I mean, right there, like there it is. There's your 137, the golden phoenix angle, the fine structure constant, the room that the Carl Jung. Anyway, Google 137. You'll get all of these connections. Mathematicians and number files and numerologists love this number, and it's our golden phoenix angle. So there you have that. Okay, that was just right there. Spirals, which it's 37 letters in this title. Spirals is 37. Phi is a spiral. And then the 33rd prime is 137. So I love this because 33 is a very important number. It's double the expansion. It reduces down to the number 6. This is my life path number when you take my birthday. So it's a master teacher number. There's 33 vertebrae in your spine. The age of enlightenment is 33 if you look at the Christ story. Pi and Phi in the Phi cipher is 33. So this shows up a lot. Now let's get back to this number 27. And you're looking at a mathematical formula, but it's not complex. Most of you are going to be smart enough to understand what you're looking at right here. If you take that number 27, which is associated with lunar cycles, nakshatras, the sidereal cycle of the moon, and you multiply it by those two constants, phi and pi, you're going to get around the number 137. And it's just magical. And like I said, you get 137 lunations within solar maximum to solar maximum within those 11 years. So this is all tied together through these mathematical constants and these numbers. And I hope this is resonating with you. I hope you're seeing how amazing this is. So here it is. The sidereal cycle of the moon is 27.32 days on average. That's the time. Now, this is not from new moon to new moon. That's 29 days. That's 29.5 days. But this is when moon is from Spica to Spica, or moon is from the Pleiades to the Pleiades, or moon is from galactic center to galactic center. It uses the stars, the fixed stars, as the reference point, whereas the synodic month, the new moon to new moon or full moon to full moon, uses the sun as the reference point. But 27, I mean, give me a break. That's amazing. Now, I would like to point out that on the day after the WOW, or the day before the WOW signal was discovered, there was a new moon on August 14th. So it was discovered on August 15th, and the night before, there was a brand new moon in 1977. And why is that important? Well, I'm going to get into that. So August 14th of 1977, that numerology for that day is 37. Which of course is spirals, which is connected to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. So it is as if that lunation, because our lunations, if you guys don't understand the word lunation, it's the beginning of the lunar month to the next lunar month. So from new moon to new moon is one lunation. You have the full cycle of the moon. So you had a brand new lunation begin, and then the discovery of this signal the very next day. So let's look at July 1st and look at 3i Atlas and its energy and see how is it connected to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, how it's associated with the WOW signal. This was the 1st of July when the Atlas telescopes first. I'm laughing my ass off right now because do you see what slide number we're on? 27 right there. That's so funny. Okay, so there's another synchronicity from Spirit, and this is just how it happens when you do decoding. Yay, my mojo's back. So July 1st of 2025, its numerology is 17. Whoa, that's another number, Dr. Danny. No, it's not. You'll see. Lunar in the Phi cipher is 17. Why do you keep bringing up the moon? I promise you I'm going to tie it all together. It's going to be so amazing. Here's the clinker. If you take 3i Atlas and you put it in that Phi cipher, it's 27. Just like WOW, just like Eagle Nebula, just like the dragonfly, just like the lunar cycle days. So 3i Atlas, lunar, its discovery, it's all tied together. They are connected, the WOW signal and 3i Atlas, and it's by way of analysis of this underlying code. And I haven't even gotten into a lot of alchemology. We're just doing the numbers. Let's get back to cobalt. Because remember, I told you its atomic mass was 59. Well, guess what number is the 17th prime number? 59. Do you understand that? So I went from 27 to its atomic mass, which is 59. And it's the 17th prime number, which is the day that it was discovered and also tied to lunar. It's getting clearer now, isn't it? How it's all coming together. Wait, it's going to get better. I promise. This is so incredibly amazing. Let's look at 3i Atlas itself. Let's see what kind of code is available in that one. We know 3i Atlas is 27 in the Phi cipher. We know that the Atlas is 161 in the Phi cipher, the asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system. But interstellar object is 71. Oh, that's another number. Not really. It's 17 reversed, but there's some cool little nuggets here in the number 71 that I want to show you related to the underlying numerology of this comparison of 3i Atlas and the WOW signal. So let's pull some tarot. 71st card in the deck of tarot is the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 is a very spiritual number. It's intuitive. It's connected. You see all those little stars in there? Those stars actually have Phi ratios in them. I didn't put the graphic up here, but if you take these lengths in the star, like for example, you take this length here, and then you take this length here, you're going to get 1.618. And then you can make another star in here, and you can make another star in here, and it's fractal, and it goes all the way down to the Planck length. This is the code of creation. this star pattern. This is what Venus creates. This is why Venus is phi. This is why her orbit is 1 phi ratio of the Earth's orbit. So here we have this 7, this spiritual intuitive number, looking at what we're creating. So this is taking the chaos and turning it into order. It gets even better. It's related to the 7 of diamonds, which is the 33rd card in your playing card deck. So once again, tied to 137. The 71st digit of this string of digits. So you can also take the whole irrational long ass digit of phi, and you can find out where in that string 71 appears. And it's at the 317th and the 318th digit of that string. So this number and this number is 317 and 318. And that's an interpolation of 137. But it gets better. 317 is the 137th, 138th, and 139th decimal digit of golden phi. So here we are, back to 137 and 33. Pretty amazing, isn't it, that you can make all of these connections? This doesn't exist for everything. This exists for things that are actually numerically encoded, the synchronicities that you're going to see. When you guys walk away from this presentation, you're going to be like, whoa, I'm seeing 137, 27 everywhere. 3i Atlas is made of a lot of nickel, isn't it? And we find out that in some of the reports that its nickel to iron ratio is much higher than any object we've seen. That normally you can get nickel in comets and things like that, but the ratio is just too high. It's just so different. So, of course, we have to look at its chemical composition. We have to look at nickel. What does nickel mean in terms of 3i Atlas and its code? Nickel in the phi cipher is actually 28 as well. So nickel confirms that nickel is an energy of phi. You'll also notice that its atomic mass is pretty close to cobalt. And also we have 3i Atlas in Virgo. We just spent the first half of this discussion talking about, where 3i Atlas actually was, where the sun actually was, where Venus where Venus, Mercury, and Mars are. And they're all in Virgo, which is 28. So I don't think you can use tropical astrology because it's not pointing to Libra. It's pointing to Virgo. You can't say that this comet's in Libra. It doesn't mean that right now for us as a collective. It means creating order from chaos, bringing our manifestations to bear, birthing in a new creation. All right, let me just tie back in the date to 3i Atlas here a little bit. The card, every date of the year has a card associated with it. And this is available on cosmicsugar.org. But if you take the Ace of Spades and you look for it in the order of the deck, it's the 40th card. And that's important because when you take the number 40, when you use that number and you apply it to your alchemology, you will find that calcium has an atomic mass of 40. So calcium 2040. 20 is its atomic number. And it's really synchronous to me, at any rate, that it shows you a spiral. Here's your phi spiral right here. Venus is also 20 in the phi cipher, which relates back to calcium and back to 40. If you want to look at the corresponding tarot card, this is the card of truth right here. This is like, yes, all things are true and just. The Ace of Swords is synchronous with the Ace of Spades. Spades and swords are the same suit. And that's card 51 in the tarot deck because your playing cards have 52 and your tarot cards have 78. So it's card 51. And watch this. If you take the word wow signal, WOWSIGNAL, and you put it into both of your ciphers, the phi cipher and the root 3 cipher, you get 51 and you get 33. So the wow signal is connected by way of 2 ciphers through the cards, through alchemology and numerology to the date of the discovery of 3i Atlas right here. I mean, that's evidence right there. If I was going to go into, a deposition, this is the evidence that I would lay before it to say that, yes, those who are assuming that this signal and 3i Atlas are related to one another might actually be correct. Now, some of you might be scratching your head and going, okay, that's cool. The numbers match, but there's no way that something that far away could send a signal to herald the coming of 3i Atlas or to be part of that. Well, when you're talking about phi and the spiral of time, you're not talking about linear time. Okay, you're talking about intervals, packets of time that are related to the ratio of phi, the golden ratio. And I'm going to get into that in a little bit when we get to the end of this decode, but I just wanted to point that out, that this spiral is so important, and it, to show these connections is stunning to me. Like, my jaw was hitting the floor. I was laughing hysterically, and I was definitely writing it on a piece of paper. Here's another cool thing. The number 28 is the 51st and 52nd decimal digit of golden pi. That's the number for nickel and the number for Virgo. Okay, so there you have that. And it's slide 51. That's twice. I didn't plan it that way. In fact, I added slides right before I came on because I'm always adding to it. All right, so there it is, the wow signal, 33 in root 3, and of course, those first 3 digits of the root 3 cipher are the 137, 173, 317, etc. Any permutation will do. Okay, man, that coffee's good. All right, let's get into the lunations. Let's tie all this together. Let's really melt our brains. I want to just say thank you to all of my beautiful channel members. We're up to 39. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. You all are just amazing. It's a wonderful, kind, beautiful community. I think it's a place where you can go and be weird, because I am definitely being my weird self doing this. So I love you all so much, and I just want to thank you for your support, and just shout you out. All right, lunations, lunations. Oh, and if you guys like this video and you love this content, just give me a thumbs up, hype it if you can. Join the channel membership, subscribe if you're lurking, of course. You can also catch all of us over at the Fellowship of 13 Signs on Facebook if you're on Facebook and want to join over there. All right. So let's get back to these moons, lunations. The new moon on August 14th of 1977 is lunation number 1. That was the beginning of this time loop of events, this golden spiral of time. And I've already explained to you that from one new moon to the next new moon is 29.53 days, and that is one lunation. June 25th of 2025 was the beginning of the 592nd lunation since the wow signal. So from August 14th of 1977 to June 25th of 2025, that began the 592nd lunation. And why 592? Well, this is big. Okay, this is really big. But wait, there's more. Remember that July 1st is associated with lunar by way of the numerology. 17 and 7. 17 is lunar. The comet's first hidden images, the ones between May and June, were during the 591st lunation. So there's that big number, 591. You may have seen this number floating around the internet. So its first hidden images appeared in 591. And these images came from the exoplanet telescope test. And here's what's so interesting about this. When you read about this particular telescope, are you noticing the 27s? It has a 27.4 day observing period and a 27-month mission. So 227s appear in the description of the images that were caught during the 591st lunation since the wow signal. So this is technically the first images of 3i Atlas. And there you have that. All right, here is the finale. If you take 591 and you divide this by phi, we've been talking a lot about phi. What do you think you're going to get? You're going to get 365 days. You're going to get the orbit of Earth. That's amazing. So we've had 591 lunations since the wow signal to the discovery of the very first images of 3i Atlas. And if you take 591 and divide that by phi, you get the orbital period of Earth. Let's keep going with this number. This is actually the golden spiral timeline in action. So I'm going to continue reducing this number by phi, by the division of phi, and I want to show you where we end up. It's right here. 365 divided by phi gives you Venus's orbit. This might start looking like the Titius-Bode law for you. Here's slide 71 relating to that tarot card and to card 33. 225 divided by phi is pretty damn close to 137, or at least the Phoenix number, if you guys follow Archaics. And it's on slide 72, which is the angle inside of that star. But there's nothing orbiting there, at least not that we know of. There's nothing that we can physically see or measure within that orbital radius of 139, but that's really close. I'm willing to keep going because I think that number is very interesting. So I did. I went down one more with phi and I got 86, which is the orbit of Mercury. And now we do it one more time or two more times and we get 53. And again, I don't know of anything that sits at 53 days orbit. There might be Vulcan or some sort of rocky body there that we just don't know about. But that's a resonance field for something because there's other things sitting there. And then we go down 53 one more time and we have 33. I had to stop. I was like, okay, that's the answer. So we go from 591 to 33 by way of phi using the orbital periods of the various inner planets and either bodies we don't see or the resonance field where a planet could potentially sit and exist based on these rules of orbital motion. So there it is. That's that. But let's look at this geometrically because, it's nice to look at math and some of you, don't really like math all that much. Let's just see what those numbers mean. We'll zoom out. We'll look at the solar system top down and we'll put these numbers in here. We have 365, 225, 86 is Mercury. 139 is that sort of imaginary orbit where something could sit really close to 137 and 138. 53, again, another orbit around the sun that could potentially hold a body. And then, of course, it lands on the sun, which is 33. The sun, the S-U-N, the S-O-N, the Christos. Here's where it gets really interesting. And I'm not going to take all the credit for discovering this because David Sarita, who you can find on the Lazarus Initiative, pointed this out to me. If the spot where 3i Atlas is closest to the sun, it's perihelion, it's moment of where it would be if it were a planet. That's the closest spot because it's coming in kind of tangentially. If it were to become a planet, would be 591 days. That would be its orbit. That's where it would sit. And that's exactly where it reaches its perihelion. So that's it. All of this connected through the wow signal, which probably came through our collective consciousness so that we could be primed for the mathematics involved in understanding the trajectory and the golden spiral timeline of 3i Atlas. This is David Sarita. He did a lot of the mathematical. He has a whole other theory as to why we have these other orbits. He says there's a hyperdimensional solar system that's kind of overlaid on top of our third dimensional solar system. I don't know if that's true. He said he's channeled that. He also was his wife from the other side gave him that number 591. So that's why it was brought to my attention. But amazing work. Good stuff. So the key points of this presentation is that the wow signal precedes 3i Atlas by 48 years. So you guys can take that number and decode that a little bit too. I didn't want to get too off track. They are connected through location. So the center of the Milky Way galaxy, the Sagittarius and Serpens constellations, the Eagle Nebula, they are connected through the phi, the golden ratio constant, by way of the numerology and the other various connections we find. And then they're connected through solar system geometry, and they're connected through the code. So fingerprint of the divine, of course, I had to figure out what that would be, the title of my talk. I put it in the root 3 cipher, or the square root of 3 cipher, and I got 103. And 103 is a prime number. And just for funsies, it's the 27th prime number. So, and I kind of I saw that today, so I just added that at the end so you guys can see that. And so this feels like a cosmically synchronous and blessed present. And then of course, thank you in both ciphers is 42. And these are my resources for decoding. My friends, that keep that. Come back in here. Stop sharing. All right, how about you guys think? Star Trinity says like some of the sororities. Sometimes when you comment, I get worried that you're not there anymore, but maybe it's just so amazing and jaw dropping. They're like, whoa. All right. We have 33 in the chat. That's cool. Awesome. So yeah, it feels good to kind of get back into that. I miss decoding. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to do it anymore. And it kept making me sad. I was like, well, if I keep losing my decodes, I guess I'm supposed to go back to the basics. So that's what I did. I just really was focusing on the astrology and connecting with people and collaborating and making sure that I had all my basics. And if I needed to, because of all the disruptive energy with, purchasing a home and having a new computer and getting a new job, all those things. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. All right, let's see. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions or thoughts? Am I glitching again? Oh my gosh. I'm so tired of glitching. Ka turns off chat to listen. Great presentation. Thank you. Awesome. All right, let's see. Ooh, Dennis has a question. Dennis says, so did y'all hear that 3i Atlas is shifting pitch every 4 hours? I heard that. Yeah, that could be one of the unpredictable things that potentially changes its direction. One of the theories they're putting out for that is that it could have a double nucleus. I've never heard of that, but I'm not a professional astronomer or comet watcher or interstellar object watcher. At any rate, I'm just an astrologer physician, right? But yeah, I heard about that, and I think it's because of what it's off gassing. So when it has when it off gases a certain amount at a certain speed, that pressure pushes against the surrounding gas, and it rotates it and moves it. But its actual rotational speed is 16.1 hours, which is 161, which is golden phi. So that's another association with phi, with the comet, or with 3i Atlas interstellar object. I really shouldn't say comet because I don't think it's a comet. So good. All right, we did pretty good. I thought we were going to go like an hour and a half, but we got it done within a little over an hour, so that's great. Yeah, the Pleiadian star codes. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Yes. These decodes are so fun to put together when the numbers start falling out in a pattern. Then I know that I'm onto something. Then I know that it's because not every number you chase is going to show you a connection. And then I think that's also a message too. Like, it's not supposed to happen. So I definitely have to appreciate the flow of coding. You can't force it. At least I can't force it. I can't make things connect the way that they did. Oh, wow, Casey, that's amazing. Osama bin Laden turned 595 lunar sidereal months old on 9/11/01, Sirius 595 Greek isophacy. Sirius sits between the twins. Yeah, I have Sirius, Venus, and Saturn conjunct in my natal chart. Well, Sirius is not conjunct, it's just kind of parallel to it. What about Three-Eye Atlas representing the third eye? I mean, sure. I'm up for whatever how, this thing resonates with you. It's interesting. You can't see it in the sky, and the only reason it's a big deal is because we saw it with a telescope and it's not from our solar system. Most of the time, comets that we can't see don't get this much hype. There are always 5 or 6 comets around the sun at all times. This is not a new thing. But because it's not from here, it makes it more interesting and it gives it a lot of unknown around it. Whenever you have unknown, it's like, uh, your mind goes crazy and starts making things up. Yes, yes, Veronica, the stellar foundations. A lot of people are getting excited about this February. So I am too because it's going to be different. It's going to be better. I'm going to add another office hours to it. It's going to be a little bit longer. You guys are going to get a little bit more of like a support from me. So yeah, February is good. You can join anytime, but I think if you want to just kind of jump into classes, you can do that on learn.drdanny.com. You can go and take any class you want that's part of the core curriculum. And once you do that, you can credit that towards Stellar Foundations at any time. So for those of you that want to be in Stellar Foundations that are not or missed the fall enrollment, you can do that. You can take any course that's in there. You pay for it separately, but I'll credit it towards your tuition for Stellar Foundation. So if you want to just kind of dip your toe in and see if you like it, that's a nice way to do it. So awesome, guys. Yeah, join that Fellowship of 13 sign. If you're on Facebook, come over and hang out with us. It's a vibrant group. People are posting stuff every day. So you'll get different outlooks. People ask questions sometimes. It's pretty cool. Stellar Foundations, you also have your own Facebook group that nobody else can go to, and you guys can ask each other questions. I think some of the girls have also started a Discord chat group, so you guys can do that. Brian. It's Three-Eye Atlas farting. Flatulence. I mean, basically it is, I guess, yeah. Good, good. All right, you guys. Well, I will sign off and let you guys have a wonderful, beautiful evening. The third installment of my house series is coming out next week. The members have it now. It's houses 3 and 9. It's called The Sacred Compass. It's in a playlist. So if you want to check out 12 and 6, Karma and Enlightenment, and first and seventh house, projection and reflection, they are in there. And then next week, you guys will see the third and the ninth house, the sacred compass. And the one after that will be on the fourth and the 10th house. And I'm going out of order. I don't know why. Spirit just said, do it this way. So I am. And then probably after that will be the fifth house and the 11th house. And then the second and the eighth will be the last one. I'm also thinking about doing either a class or a private video on the membership. I don't know what you guys think about this on the metaphysics of sex. It's been kind of on my mind lately. And I think there's a lot that people don't talk about out there, but I want to do it in like a clinical and like respectful way. So I'm thinking about that. Those are just the things I'm thinking about, you guys. All right. I will pop in this little video again for you guys to listen to, and we will see. Good.